It's just been announced the scores here for the women's competition. Madison Riva is the winner in the 5-string tournament, 6-0-9, including a 1-5-8. Again, a 1-5-8's prevail, and a 1-5-8 for Madison Riva propels her to a 6-0-9. Let's get this camera reset. Don't worry about the thing, Kevin. Whoop. There we go. Tim Douglas and Justin Waters on our screens right now. This is the top 8 got a first-round bye. We'll go over that in just a second. Now the 16 bowlers on the lanes right now will be pared down to 8. It's not head-to-head knockout. It's a bottom 8 scores wherever they are in the field are knocked out, or eliminated in this case. Justin Waters, lane 14, starts off with a 5-9. My name's Greg Gouillart, alongside Kevin Burns on Candlepin Bowling Network. Tim Douglas 3-1 split. It'll be 2 bowlers to a lane. We'll get that acclimated in just a second here. Waters hits the wrong pin, unfortunately. 10. So we'll do some looking around the field as best as we can. Tim Douglas ends up with an 8. So Kevin, a lot of 158s there. Had it from Ayotte and Fontaine as well. Second place, Kim Baker. Third place, Caitlin Zaleski. That's 5.75 out of Kim Baker. Very good. Caitlin Zaleski, a solid 5.52. Mel Penny's 5.49 holds up for 4th. And those are the top 4. Jeanette Southall missing out with a 5.27. Heather Twombly not far behind with a 5.23. 4 out for Waters and 4 out for Douglas as well in the worst possible way. Ooh, 9-pin won't go. Justin Waters denied.
This is our first look at Timmy Douglas today.
We saw Scotty earlier.
Yeah, the last string qualified. Waters with another 10. And 10 with an 8, 16-20.
You see the men's international teams, both of these bowlers represent. Justin Waters, the championship 2022 Academy Lanes Worlds team. It was a Central 3 Friday Night Pro League, a lot of overlap there. Central Park Lanes, that is. Tim Douglas with the Hatchetmen. That is the Lamoni franchise. Tim Douglas was with Central 2 and made the move to Central 1 this year. The numbers don't indicate relative skill. It's just another team that bowls out of Central Park Lanes.
And Tim Douglas with a strike.
Tim Douglas, a pretty powerful part of that team. You can see why. Remember, matches are not head-to-head. Not an elimination. Knockout it is. Waters needs an out.
Tie scores move on. Bottom scores go home.
And he'll take a 9-box out of this. I think Douglas will fire straight away after this. On the men's tournament, the top 8, Josh Daly, 737. He got no worse than 140 because, of course, Joshua did. Then Sean Baker, 657. Aaron Fontaine, 650. We saw that 158 at the end. Jimbo Ayotte with his 158 got a 631. 5th place, John Winchell with a 620. Rest in the second, Waters has a split.
Those were the top 8?
That's the top 5. Top 5. I'll have the rest in a second. Douglas splits as well on a strike. Landry and Southall to follow. I'll type that in now. Waters can't get that wood to work. 6 is Troy Fournier with a 613. Good for him. JJ Tarigny, only now do we fall below 600, only just. JJ got 599. I'm sure this guy's Class B. And then Nick Norcross narrowly made the cut, 597. He was ecstatic when Freshie kind of slow rolled in and announced the digits one at a time. Nick Zuffalato and his wife Samantha, and it is Samantha Zuffalato, I've confirmed, with the last name change in addition to the marriage. Congratulations to both of them.
There was an 8 for Douglas on the fill.
And a 9-box.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Nico did post the scores on Facebook, so that's all set.
He did? Good.
Yep.
Really appreciate him doing that. I just kind of sent the image at him. I knew he was willing to do it, but that's awesome that he can do that. Thank you so much, Nico Gouillart of Missouri. Double pins for Douglas. He's got all his head pins.
He need to come out here and be here live one of these days.
Oh, I'm sure he wants to do. He's a fan of bowling wherever it is, in fairness. You know, he's got he bowls in a 10-pin league of his own over in Missouri. Working on his game over there as well. I just love that he's embraced our sport as well. Wanders just into the 6-pin. Double pins. Guardrail is there on the left side, and Tim Douglas has a spare for a 53 plus half. So Waters is going to pin 9 or 10 here. 9 through 16 is John Blaze, Nick Zuffalato, Scott Douglas, Danny Harris, $10 for Justin Waters there for a 48 half, a very well pinned half all told. Then 13 is Tim Douglas, you just saw him. 14, Justin Waters, you just saw him. Tim Jalbert is 15, and Travis Wallace is number 16. And then Scott LaPierre, Tim Susi, Jim Nestor, Corey Alisi, Sean Landry, Ryan Southall, here they are. Chris McDonough and Craig Holbrook. Bowlers must make the final 8 to make the money. Ryan Southall, 9-drop. That's just not directly head-to-head, but Sean Landry, doesn't matter where he is, he's dished a strike on lane 13. Southall misses his 7.
We just saw Southall in the last couple of strings of qualifying. Oh, that's a 9.
Yep.
No good.
Ball in the gutter stays in the gutter. Now comparing the scores will actually be very difficult, unfortunately, I think, in the early going because of the paper scoring used. Listen, love the old school aesthetic. Who are we to disagree? Just it will make it difficult for us to track down the scores. But we will have updates as best as possible as soon as we can generate it out of the hard-working men and women running this Pro Series can get it out of the printer. Ooh, Landry put all sorts of power on that head pin, but the 4-pin is undisturbed ultimately.
Southall with the 5-9. Oh, made it.
It's bumped through. It covers. Landry! Wood skids to a halt in front of the 4.
Oh, he almost took that.
Score 10. It's 2 to a.
It is 2 per lane.
Yeah, for now. That may whittle down as we go through the later rounds. Smudges are correct now as you see it on your screen. This is good shooting here. 572 was the cut, 597 for a first round bye in the men's tournament. Southall breaks it up. He's got a 19 box.
Landry with a 4 horseman right side. 1, 2, 6, 10.
So 549 was required on the women's side to cash there, be in the top 4. Ooh, just on the head pin.
And like Nate Lee said, a lot of the ladies beat a lot of the men.
That's 10. Landry runs. You said it, Kevin. Landry's run this down, and that's another 10. Pin perfect.
39-38.
Yep.
Southall with a half whistle of left. Landry makes the eagle, but leaves the reverse eagle. The 1, the 5, the 8, and the 9.
A beautiful shot in the wrong order. Now can you throw a bad ball down the middle, so to speak?
Yeah, you have to be really, really full on this.
5 pins back there for Southall. Would, if anything, ruined his chance at it. Now he'll have to shoot a triangle for the out. Southall may have lost his balance slightly at the line, but gets the out anyway. Great.
And 8 for Landry. 46, 47, so 1 pin difference.
Between there, I mean, we can think of it as a 4-way competition almost between these bowlers, and then that's to say for the other 8 lanes, of which all the pins are, if only just in some cases, all visible on your screen. Lanes 9 through 16 for you fine folks out there.
But it's going to be kind of tough to know what people are getting.
We'll keep tabs on it as best as we can. Landry looking for another. And hey, that's a good position for his first spare if he can run this wood in, maybe. He may choose to go direct. There is some separation. Ryan, 1-2-7, doesn't go. Oh, Landry went direct at it, but tripped on the cap, and the ball deflects. A lot of people say you see the pin, play the pin, but just couldn't in that particular situation. Southall waves that off. That hit the gutter wood first, so that'll be 9. Landry scores a 10, and that's a 57.5. So, like you're saying, Kevin, it's not a direct comparison, but you never know. This is how tight the competition is right now. And even for Justin Waters, who'll be disappointed with the 48.5, he's pinning well, and if his marks start coming in, you never know.
Waters is so under his average, though.
Yeah. Well, Waters only left 2 pins standing. So did Landry, for that matter. Even though Landry only had the 1 strike and Waters not even. Tim Douglas is having the best time right now. He's got spare fill to come. Tim's also got all his head pins right now. Didn't spare any of the splits, but made the other 2. Waters.
There's the pocket. At least they're trying.
This will go for 4. Is it 4? Excuse me? No, it's 5. Thank you. Well, the 2 pin standing, the pins thought Waters wasn't perfectly in the pocket, but that seems harsh. Let's see. That's on the 5 pin. Only now will I agree that wasn't in the right spot. Douglas Wood disappears off back and leaves the 6-10.
It's very on Waters, like, not to get a mark yet. There's a 10.
4th 10 this string.
Douglas with a 9.
Come on. That's better. See, Tim Susi, Jim Nestor, Corey Alisi, Tim Jalbert all around me. Chris Ryder's made this in. 9 drops for each.
I like Justin's better only because if you hit that wood
Good.
against a 10 pin, 7 pin, if it goes in the gutter, it's no good. But
I would have taken Douglas's wood all day. That's interesting, just because he was so close by. But indeed, he didn't have the whole width to shoot out, but both get a spare.
that's Waters' first mark. He's on the board.
Yeah, Travis Wallace is in. Don't worry, Adam. He made it. Full score should be posted to Candlepin Bowling Network on Facebook. Thank you all for bearing with our slapdash way of conveying all this information.
A 7 fill for Waters. Oh, look at this. Pretty ball. Drops 9. Playing right next to the 9 pin.
Yeah, Tim Douglas is cooking now. There's been some times where he's been on again, off again. He got 2nd place in the ICBA. Would love to go all the way in this tournament. Drive this plank through, but he's wide of the cap altogether. Tim Susi was the ICBA champion there. And incidentally, Susi is in this field right now. Waters 9, Douglas 9. So Waters getting stymied by some splits there, on Waters-like, as you say, Kevin, and he's 4 over, but has 2 boxes remaining with which to salvage it. It's a harsh format at times, just a 1-string format. But in effect, if one of these bowlers go all the way, they will have rolled a 10-stringer. So the Pro Series very much emulating the old Pro Tours and all those 10-string formats there, just in terms of the quantity bowled. Timmy's got 6.
Head pin.
Jockey missed a head pin. He threw his hands up, was surprised by that. After all, he's been going so well on it. Only missed 1 head pin beforehand. Waters again. Staying the course, and I don't mean the golf course this time anyway. Justin Waters will play when the season is right. Douglas.
Tim is like, I don't know how the 9 pin didn't go.
He stared at that a long time, didn't he?
He did.
That's 10 now.
That's not now, but
10 box, 105 through 9. 15 over to be sure.
it's around its average.
Waters
Whoa,
on a
whoa.
spare with the perfect fill. Comes up big in 9 and 10.
Oh boy, here we go. Tim is known for doing this. He thinks he has it on the back, then he starts struggling.
It's an old chestnut, but his ball takes it.
Nope. Let's see how check.
Well, it clobbered it, but the wrong pin. So tough, Candlepin. The slightest adjustment in timing can make a big difference 60 feet down the lane. Score that 10, you never know. Maybe that's the pin that matters.
Puts him
115.
at 115. That's going to put him on the bubble. It all depends on what Justin does with his two balls here and what Landry and Southall do.
Why have I been numbering the bowlers this whole time? There's no point. On a strike, no double, but that's good count no matter what. 2 more pins to get with the final ball. And
That's
the
a
fill
9.
is 9.
So that puts him at 123 for the string. 10 Douglas with a 115.
The one and only.
You have to ball higher than a 123 in order to advance.
Well, this won't be a 4-way comparison.
Yeah.
It's the whole field, remember,
Yeah.
though. Lanes 9 through 16 that we're considering here, but
Well, if you were just considering these two pairs, yeah. Southall drops 7. Landry,
no,
wow. That should have been a lemon drop because
I'm rating that one not safe for Paul Gray. Gone! A tree topper! Southall sends the head pin over the 10 pin.
that should have been a lemon drop, but Paul can't call that one.
Reminds me of lanes and games physics action with the Jane pin setters. There's no mechanism above, so pins could rain down from the heavens, and your half Worcester might actually be saved. That goes for 9.
And your half whistle might turn into a strike. Seen that happen at lanes and games.
The reset buttons are at the counters here with the Pro Score system in use. Southall's lost this fill ball, unfortunately, so he'll go for 3 on this spare fill. Landry at half Worcester.
It's not going to get a save that time. Southall with a setback. Not a good piece of wood for it. Landry tried helicoptering a pin to take up to 5.
It's the usual piece of pins. It's the usual annoying wood.
6 for Landry and a 9 for Southall.
Never know.
This is close. It's only a 5-pin difference between these two. Oh, strike for Southall. Landry with a setback.
Better wood, though.
Much better wood.
Ryan Southall was on a cold streak with the head pin, but then found it in the best possible way.
9.
Ooh. Landry blew by that piece of wood. That was very close to going. And with his power, that could have. A quality 10 instead.
A pro 10 for it, in fact.
Right. That's 5 out for Southall. This is going to be some strike fill if he can manage this one. At least get rid of the triangle.
You have to play the triangle in order to make it. He is. Oh, he just missed. Just missed the object.
Still, Southall goes 13 over. Johnson, knowing his time appears to be running out here.
6 for Southall and 10 for Landry.
That's a significant 6 there. So instead, the strike disappears instead of giving the profit of 8 or so that Southall would have wanted. John Landry had a 575 in qualifying. Ryan Southall a 574.
So they were right next to each other.
Mm-hmm. And they are now. They actually distributed it by snaking through the ranking, essentially. They distributed the lanes accordingly.
Southall with a 4 horseman.
I should explain that better in a second here. Now, that's not on the headpin, but Landry's got a chance here.
Oh,
Southall, no tree topper this time.
Piece of wood goes in between.
John, yes.
There's a 10. I mean, it's fair. And Southall with an 8. That puts him at 107.
All right, 102 in a ball. Yeah, passing your lane mate does provide, if nothing else, a morale boost. Last ball, Landry. Collects count.
6.
For a 108. Okay, 115, 123, 108, 107. Let me see if I could get a good camera view for you folks out there. We'll leave it at this.
It's going to be kind of hard to commentate because you don't know what people will have.
Oh, no, we're not even going to try this, but we are going to leave the view here for you fine folks, and we will be right back in just a moment. It has just been announced that the cut for the next round was 108, so interestingly, Sean Landry, who we just saw, made the cut, and Ryan Southall, indeed, that one pin, it proved to be a head-to-head match, and Ryan Southall will just miss. The other thing, see on your screen, 18-8. In an elimination format, they tried to take the top 16 scores, but 3 people shared that 16th place score. Therefore, they all advance. This is a similar situation to what happened in Bolorama Sanford, when we actually ended up to more people in the semifinals and actually had a 3-person finals, that featuring Sean Baker, Chris Merrill, and Tim Douglas, who the latter of whom eventually won this event. Tim Douglas does live with a 115, as does Justin Waters with a 123, a score we were worried about, but then exploded for 3 marks in the end and was best of the foursome that we saw. Everyone's moving around. I believe some warm-ups will take place, actually, so it gives me an opportunity now for you fine folks to share some scores that I found around the field. Taking a look around, Chris Ryder had a 106, unfortunately, so that'll fall short of that 108 cut. Also advancing, Travis Scott does not advance, unfortunately, 104. Scott, this will be Scott LaPierre, I believe it is, with a 120 going through. He had a 20 box and 3 marks there. Taking a look around. If Danny implies Danny Harris, that's an advance as well, a 108. And it should. And Danny Harris had a spare 8 on the end to save his day. Jim Nestor just missing with a 105. A lot of near misses in the field just then. Scott Douglas will also advance, so both Scotts do advance. Scott Douglas had a 118. Tim Soucy easily through, 125. And then Nick Zuffalato with that 108, the other person implicated in that tiebreaker. Craig Holbrook advances, 119. John Blaze advances, 113. We'll have a more detailed view of the scoreboards here in a moment. These are just warm-up strings here. No bowling is officially taking place at this time.
Elaine, the people who have the buys warm up.
That's exactly right. I got worried a hot second there. I was like, oh no, I'm missing the action. But no, I'm sorry to find folks who I scared similarly, but no, there is a. How much practice do they get? As long as necessary. The tournament directors stop it after a point. Sorry, I didn't realize there was one person I needed to block in chat. Maybe I missed a sense of humor, but I can't tell, so, man, let me know. 18-8, that is correct, so 3 people tied on the 16th place score, so it's those 8 buys and then the 10 people who survive from that first cut of 16 who join in. So 9 lanes will be in use, lane 8 as well. I see some motion here, but I haven't heard first ball called yet, so I believe we're still waiting on that cue.
And that cue will come from Nate Lees, another tournament director.
There is barely camera left right now. Let me get the camera. I'm just going to be paranoid to get that camera set right there. Yeah, we got those eyes shifting leftwards, and we should be set to go in just a moment. And now first ball has been called, and we are underway.
Justin Waters, Scott LaPierre. Top 8 advance. And the other 10 do not. 3 tiebreakers, as Greg just mentioned. Scott LaPierre's first ball. And Lisa Cleary, Justin Waters. First ball on the head pin leaves a 2-1 split. And let us pause for 10 seconds for station ID.
What now? Oh, okay, Candlepin Bowling Network, Facebook, YouTube, like, follow, and subscribe. And please hit the like button, the thumbs up button. Thanks. Nailed it.
That was more like 5 seconds.
My sense of time is warped back here. No spare for either to start off.
I'm Kevin Burns on line side Greg Gouillart. We've been here all day. 10 and 8.
That French name bamboozles so many people. My brother-in-law came up with slime pirate. Gouillart. Gouillart.
I don't even want to know. I don't want to know.
It's messy, but it's effective. LaPierre box 2. He gets very light on that head pin. 3-5 back row.
3-2, way thin.
Waters
is like, oh, I got an advantage. Now I can pile.
Never know. It could matter. Could be the head-to-head. That does matter. We saw it happen just then. Between Landry and Southall, we're 1 pin apart. And
wow. LaPierre almost converted that.
And Landry ends up pipping Southall again, even in an elimination format. Waters makes the spare. That's fair, a 10 box.
18-20. Waters has a fill.
Singles competition.
On lane 9, Judge Stilly just threw a bomb.
Scott LaPierre won the singles knockout tournament at Alley Cat Lanes in Kingston, defeating Dean Sullivan.
Oh, that was a great match. 9 on the fill for Justin Waters.
I neglected to mention that when Sullivan came up. I apologize. Great count for Waters, as mentioned.
Setback.
Yeah, again, and we're seeing weird flavors of it, too. You usually get that plank, but it's just coming up in a different way this time.
Oh, what a spear by Waters. Now, this is the Waters we know.
Wood tripped in. Well, we saw it just in the nick of time last string, and now we're seeing it come up big here. LaPierre 9. Not a typo. 18 bowlers becomes 8. Asterisk concluded, trying to denote that. From my addled brain to yours. 6-pack, right side. Don't see a lot of this one at this center. Oh, Lindy's Bowling Center and Billiard Hall in Quincy, Massachusetts.
What a ball.
You know, a lot of people, I talked to Justin Scally about this.
And I talked to him as well. He told me he found the place to be tough.
It's a tough one, he said, and also one that many people will be unfamiliar with. And it's great to build the familiarity of that now. LaPierre hoping to do that as he works out 5 of these 6. It's a center that I know another bowler, Jim Nestor, hasn't bowled in since the 1990s as well. But it's great to have it here in the Pro Series. And
when I saw this place on the schedule, when the schedule came out, I was like, that's going to be a hike for a lot of guys.
Yep, South Shore, but I'd come back here. I tell you what, it's exactly the size it needs to be for all it does. 16 lanes in front of us here. I mean, sort of a narrow walkway between the lower lanes here, but tables you can hang out in back here. It's sort of a mini arcade and very sensibly priced vending machines, decent food and drink, and then, of course, the billiard hall in the back corner. A great place that's been hidden as a gem for quite some time, I would argue. LaPierre out of Maine drops a 7, good. 10 pin.
Makes that 2-hour drive, 3-hour drive worth it by advancing. Waters with a 4-5 split. He's on the 4.
It was thin on the head pin, but then the 2 wilted. No, LaPierre's missed this one. Tricky 10. You couldn't go on the right side at all. Justin, yes!
Oh, what a shot. What a shot.
Caromed it off the wall. That was good. 79 plus at the half.
That's a wild shot.
Make sure you get rid of your pins, but it's a good one. I missed the box for lap here, excuse me. It's 10, 47 at the half. Very sorry. That pin might matter. You never know. Now John Winchell and Troy Fournier.
Fournier out of Botwell's in Concord. That's where our next Pro Series event is taking place. Well,
Ooh, baby.
That didn't take long.
Troy Fournier vaporizes the pins on 14.
What a split here by Winch. 4, 5, 10.
Yeah.
Pisa were behind the 5.
Yeah, I think that Woods turned back there, interestingly. I think it has a chance to be looking at the 10, but you really have to give it a glancing blow.
Oh, there's a broken pin in the lane.
Sorry.
I can see a missing cap, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right, in the left gutter. Where's it going, though? Ooh, dear.
Yeah, there's a
5-10. I see Justin Waters looking back, so I think that will be retrieved in just a moment, unless Winchell clobbers it just now, but we'll see. Well, that and the pins stay up, so that'll be 9. And that's a good spot, Kevin, because I think that is going to get removed, actually.
That has to be removed.
Yep.
Nate.
We got everyone on it. Chris McDonough and everyone is calling in the cavalry, and we'll get that stick removed in just a moment. So taking a look around once again, just to confirm, top 8 bowlers: Josh Daly, 737, Sean Baker, 657, Troy Fournier is waiting. I don't know what. I saw him and I said his name instinctively. Josh Daly, Sean Baker, and then Aaron Fontaine on 650. Jimbo Ayotte, 631. John Winchell, 620. Troy Fournier, 613. There we go. JJ Turigny, 599. He's on the lane on 15, in fact. And Nick Norcross, 597, your top 8. This is Tim Douglas on lane 12. I'll get a camera to zoom out it in the meantime.
That's what we're starting again.
Up.
So much for the zooming out.
And we can zoom right back in. Hope you didn't mind the journey, folks. It's a magical journey. 4 horsemen right for Troy Fournier. Winchell. The Channel 50 alumnus has 1, 2, 4, and 8. Fournier, the rising star at Boutwell's Bowling Center, with a 9 count on the strike.
19 at the 1.
Raise your microphone. I want to hear what you have to say.
Are you sure?
Yes.
19 at the 1, 19, 28 at the 2.
And no strikes much. Gregory, $9 for Winchell. John Winchell on that 620, 5th place. Troy Fournier is just 1 mark back on 613. He got the pocket, I thought. Instead, the 5, 7, 9, and 10. Winchell crossed over and crushed them all. 7-pin wilts last. And a strike in the 3rd.
You needed that.
Interesting. So Fournier seemed to get the pocket but didn't. But now he's got the spare. That's a good shot with the wood. Leveraging the 5, 7, 9 into the 10. Smudges all the way around. Almost anyway. Fournier, 4, 7, see a 7, see a 4, you're hit, but it's 9 on the spare. Winchell didn't like that. He wished he got it a little more out there, but still filling a strike. Easy as pie for Fournier. 3 marks and 4. Winchell still needs a fill on the strike. No head pin, but an 8 count. Baby Barber's on the move.
She wants to bowl so bad.
That's being raised right, I tell you what.
It is.
$9
There's
bucks.
a 9. 45-57.
In our completely dogmatic opinion, you get to see what the shape of a bowling pin should be. Fournier, look at this one. He's got them all again. Strike.
77 plus.
And Winchell's got a pretty good crack at this one until that comes back. It's a 6-7. Troy Fournier, strike 9, spare, strike.
I don't know where to go with this one. I'm thinking one of the caps.
Looks pretty level with the pin plate right side. Here it comes. Not quite. Winchell gave it a good ride. That's John J-O-N Winchell. Now goes for it and gets 10. Tough split to work out of. Does so pretty well. 55 with that one strike.
It wasn't my turn to know where it was.
And now Waters, who somehow has an even higher score than Troy.
Not by much. Let's not forget, Troy has 2 balls to fill his.
For the Waters power, 1 ball might be enough. We'll see. LaPierre needs a mark here. He's got it just. Woo! The 4 rolled into the 7. Waters on a spare. The fill is good.
A 7-10.
The leave is a disaster.
Yeah, you can make that work. I mean, I've seen Waters spin a couple pins off the wall before. He could probably send that flying into the 10 pin.
Really hucks that out there. Spin across it and went over the 9 spot.
You can't get any closer than that without making it clean.
Pin that out. Watch out for the gutterwood. Perfect. 10.
Perfect, yeah. Dead on.
And it is pin perfect. 97 through 6. All the pins knocked down. I confess, Terry-Ann is very kind. I always see her look back here and I'm like, did I say something wrong?
Oh, double strike by LaPierre.
There's one way to get your marks on the board in a hurry. Scott LaPierre, strike on strike.
So what were you saying?
I was worried you thought my commentary was outlandish when she looks back here, but I think she just likes it.
I don't know.
You never know.
No. A third now.
4 horsemen and an 8.
Nope.
So
Waters with a nice 10. Still perfect.
Yeah, and a 1-7 makes that tricky, so good. Eric on YouTube, I remember years ago, Woburn shaved their pins slightly to bring back their shine, so I guess taking out the exterior layer, in other words. Resume quote. However, they broke constantly. Ask Norcross, Nick Norcross. I believe he was working there at the time.
No,
Come
no.
on! Ooh, but the fill is 19 on the first one. This is good. I tell you, I love these Pro Series tournaments. They just get better and better as they go. LaPierre into the 90s on box 7. Gets nothing
Wow.
on this one, though, as the wood spun out, and we stick with the 9 fill.
What a roadblock.
Waters splits apart his rack, 1-4.
Yes, glad I have that effect on you. I'm so glad I have that effect on you.
And Scott pins out for a 10. That'll make it tough for Waters to pin out. By
It's a
getting out
baby split, though.
2-pin. Yeah, it's easier than the last one in theory. How about it?
Nope.
No.
First pin lift up standing. Which isn't bad. Which is not bad.
I mean, when you're on the tightrope like this with all those marks, you would think the pinning would matter less, but you never know. Even though we start from 0 every time, With the high caliber of this field and clearly more and more bowlers who are figuring out these Quincy pins.
Oh, there's your triple.
Except one too late, but Scott LaPierre will take it all the same. 3 strikes in 4 boxes. And especially, hey, is Waters going to spill this? Not quite. Head pin only. Alas, it has to be consecutive to matter, but even though the pins just don't always, they're not always set up for a strike. Let's be honest here. The pin setter has those slight differences as Waters spares this.
Yeah, but the pin setter always drop them down the same, no matter what.
You think so? Sometimes there'd be a little variation. I thought I heard it from some pin mechanic, but I'll check my sources on that.
I would.
I know they also have tried a robot a long time ago who just couldn't get consistent strikes either.
Oh,
Look at
almost
this one.
another
And
double.
LaPierre nearly misses another multi-strike.
No, if those were in a row, we'll be talking 200 right now.
It's just so steady the way LaPierre bowls. It's incredible. Waters, same with him, honestly, even though it's a little higher arm motion. He's tall then again, but 4, 7, 9, and 10. I could say that. I'm tall too. I'm not as coordinated as him, that's for sure. Yes. Strike on spare. That's LaPierre's first spare, by the way. Waters all the way across. No, sir.
135 plus a ball.
Yeah, we're having fun with this, Ben. I don't know about you. It's good to see you.
And a 141.
Which is unsafe against Scott LaPierre's.
Yeah.
What a world. I can't wait to see the score sheets around. We've got 9 lanes in motion because there are 18 bowlers. Ties on the critical score carry everybody over. And we're considering the scores across the entire field. The top 8 scores advance. LaPierre, last ball on the head pin, 5. He's happy with that. He's got his 140. Not head to head. Hey, that's 140. Should see him through to the next round. High-fiving his son Benjamin as well. High-fiving Troy Fournier. Why not? You gotta have that much energy after a big string like that. That is big time, and should see LaPierre through the round of 8 along with Justin Waters. So, who's left? John Winchell and Troy Fournier. And Fournier, I tell you what, it's 27 over. He could join this 140s club.
4 horsemen, left side.
No double, but still filling.
Winchell drops 4.
Fournier gets a 9 fill. I don't know what Scott LaPierre was saying to me, but oh yeah, we got this on camera.
That's exactly what he was asking. Did you get that on camera?
Oh hell yeah, we did that.
Oh yeah.
That goes for 10 for Fournier. 96 through 6. Mitchell needs an out. 7. That's a good third ball. Didn't hit the pin he was after, but still. For the pins that were left, that's pretty good. But 62 through 6, I think he's going to, you saw that concern on his face. I don't blame him.
He knows he's down. He knows he knows he needs to marks now.
Troy Fournier's first half strike. No mark, spare, strike. Then a 10. Then this, another strike. His third.
Winchell's just got a pin.
He's got his head pin in a split.
Ugly split.
On again, off again on the head pin, quite literally on the odd numbered frames. This time he splits for the 3rd time. Ooh.
Through the hoop. Winchell's in danger or not advancing right now.
I always get nervous about quoting the King of the Palace sleeves. I'm not sure which ones we're supposed to say. Funny, guys. I miss that show out of Fitchburg so much. 8 box.
70
through 7.
Winchell is running out of time.
I mean, we saw Waters explode at the end. Sorry, Kevin.
He's running out of time. He needs to bury the pocket and needs to splash. And he's very capable of doing that.
So now Troy Fournier's in the 140s, which is just ridiculous. As we have the hot lanes, clearly.
You know, this lead that Winchell has, and I know I'm focusing on him,
I'm optimistic.
it's favorable. He has a decent piece of wood. I mean, yeah, it's a reverse triangle, but still, it's going to work.
Right to the 5, sweep it over, like you're saying, Kevin. Where's it going? Come on, Wood. Yes.
Called it. Called it.
Spare for Winchell in the nick of time. 8 fill, $8 for Troy Fournier.
Now he needs to get a few strikes in the next couple boxes. Let's see if he can do it. He's very capable of doing it.
Troy is no relation to Brian Fournier, another wonderful bowler in the community.
Who also works at
Ryan Family Amusements Millis. Five on the first drop here. One of the rare balls that's gotten away from Troy in this string. Winchell.
in the pocket.
It was
Used a diamond.
Yeah, it was tailing away, though. His cross lane ball just didn't have the power in the pocket at the end there. Fournier overthrows the head pin, and that's a problem. Now he's got a pin. Well, he is way up there, but he'll want a pin anyway. Winchell's overthrown his 2-pin. And he has a side saddle triangle.
Good pinning by Fournier. That puts him at 130. We might have another tie here. There's a 10.
Winchell grabs his 3. 108 was the cut to get down to the final. Well, should have been 16, but now 18.
Fournier drops 7. He leaves the 2-1 split. Winchell leaves the. I don't know which sleeve I like better. Both of them are doable, but
I like the reset button, but I trust them more. Troy can't get his to go. Fournier's got the 4 and 10.
I'm playing cap on the right side on Winchell's.
Reasonable.
Oh, he redlined it. He had the right idea, but he redlined it. 139 for Fournier. So 141, 140, 139, and Winchell is at 100, but it's not enough.
Not among this foursome. I can't imagine the scores will be much. Well, I can't imagine
that's
they'll all
a-
be lower when 3 spots are surely spoken for. Yeah,
104.
a good day for him, but it may come up short here. We'll be right back in just a moment with updates. It has just been announced that 112 or better was the. Excuse me. It was
21.
121. I got the digits flipped somehow. 121 was the cut. So indeed, Winchell's 104 falls short. 121 or better. That's Danny Harris on that borderline. Aaron Fontaine is through. Jim Nestor falls a pin short with that 120. I'm sorry, Jim was. I guess Jim was through somehow, but now he's out with that 120. Aaron Fontaine 145 is through. Josh Daly 125. And then the 3 we had on ours. So this should be 8-4.
You got to pick which one we're going to cover.
13, 14's out of order for this one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I think it is.
Going to recall this, and then we'll go to the. This looks new over there. I'm going to cover right side because I see Scott Douglas, Tim Susi, JJ Tarigny. Keep those pins in view, but 15 and 16. And we'll get the scoreboard up and running in just a moment. Those are the scores from before. Waters, Fournier, and LaPierre all through.
Danny Harris, Josh Daly.
Yep, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, pan over here.
I've got a good view of the pins, so. Danny Harris is on the right, first ball.
Go ahead, yep.
Not a pretty weave, off the head pin.
Scott Douglas has a bunch of 6 in the 7 pin. Harris, oh, close.
Oh, jeez.
Scotty rips right through.
Danny with the 9.
9. I'm not sure I've got the best camera view, honestly. I see I'm off kilter as well, but I will figure something out on the fly here. Tell you what, I'm gonna try one more thing, folks. I beg your pardon. Recall this and just.
Okay, that works.
I think that'll have to do.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna give it a little nudge to the right so we can see the pins. Oh gosh, come on. Wow.
Scott Douglas punches an eagle.
This should be the last squirreliness of the camera. Heaven help me. And there we go. Okay.
Oh!
Foiled on that split is Harris. 7 pin stays put. Scott Douglas just on the object.
Danny with another 9, 18. Scott Douglas with an 8.
9 box and 8 box. Not sure why this doesn't work now. Keep going.
Okay. Well, there's nothing to announce. There's no pins. Danny Harris with a crossover. Makeable spear lead for Danny Harris. Oh, a little too full.
And we'll get this back here. Okay.
Another 9 for Danny Harris.
So that makes 27.
And another 9 for Scott Douglas. There's 26. Danny Harris dropped 7. Scott Douglas leads, drops 5. Harris wide left. Oh, Scott Douglas just missed. Harris with a 10.
So it'll be 37 through 4.
And Scott Douglas with a 10.
I'll try to check in on scores on the other match periodically. Let's get Susie's name in there. Tim Susie, indeed. That's Scott Douglas with a big strike. He's feeling it right now. He's won this event before.
Scott Douglas, took out the 5 pin. He has the 4 horsemen plus the 2.
Justin Waters, Scott LaPierre, Aaron Fontaine, and Troy Fournier all through on the other pair of lanes.
Well, Scott made the 4 horsemen unconventionally, 8 for Harris and a 10 for Scott Douglas. 46, 45.
Might matter. Question
And
if Tim can
here
make.
is the king of Candlepin Ball Network, Josh Daly.
Quite possibly. And the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour will not defend his crown this time around. Time constraints being what they are, but he is on lane 16.
Remarkable scores for his qualifying. It's like no matter what house he bowls in, he destroys it.
There he is.
And there's a
Yeah.
that didn't take long.
My goodness.
Tim Susie punches an eagle.
Tim Susie was the top of the qualifier for this event when we did it in Bowl-A-Rama, Sanford, Maine. And not to mention ICBA champion Josh Daly was the ICBA men's champion before him. Both of the years that Madison Riva won in that year. That'll be 8. For one reason or another, Daly did not compete in the men's competition, maybe just did not make the qualifier as it happens. Tough competition, only 2 from each region make it through. Daly strike fill on 16. Here it is. Check mark and a 10.
Susie leads a 2-1 split. No wood. Daly
That
has
4 pin, I think, right?
yeah. Oh, what a bit. 9 fill for
Yep.
Josh. Tim almost converted that. 9 for the box, 28 at the 2 for Josh Daly. And Tim. And
So 2 tough splits for Tim, but he's got 17 through 2.
Tim Susie, no relations to Matt Susie.
Who is in chat? Good to see ya. Matt Susie, also a former king of the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour.
Daly back on the head pin, Josh 7. Tim leads the diamond plus the 10.
Annoying plank in front. Like, I can see the plank better, and that's not good news for them on lane 16. Daly, high on it, and it deflects around.
He knew it too from the second he threw it. He knew it.
Susie, tip it back, but in front of the 9.
Daly with another 9. Tim with another 9.
So not a lot of 10 boxes, in fairness. We'll see if marks are the only differentiation there. It's not a lot of 10 boxes over here, though. Scott Douglas has a couple of 10s on his side.
And we will have the final 4.
I'm going to put this scoreboard here so that you all know that it's on these lanes. Thank you for bearing with us.
A 4-1 split for Josh.
Yeah, the outpost missed the head pin on that one, and then Susie's got the same thing.
but on the opposite side.
Cluster of
Oh, what a
5.
bid by Josh.
It's amazing how the pins just rip together. And again, Tim Soucy has a pin wilt in front of the one he wants to have knocked over. Now it rolls back, but that's not with the red line and not fast enough. Not going to happen.
Another 9 for Josh. 46 at the 4. Soucy got a 10, 36 at the 4. As of right now, the 46 and the 45s move on. But anything can happen. It all depends on what's going on to our left.
Exactly. The whole field is considered.
Oh!
Josh Daly only 3 out. Soucy. 3-1 split, 6-pin with a lot of coercion. But again, despite Tim Soucy going 5 for 5 this half, cannot get a break.
Oh, nice bid by Josh. Josh just cleaned out the right side.
Soucy.
Oh, just missed the object.
He missed the object.
Daly leaves a 9. That's a pro 9 right there.
Out of that mess. And a 9 as well for Soucy.
This is very, very, very tight.
All right, goes back to the top of the order now. Be right back.
This is tight. I got Danny Harris. Drops 9. Leads the 9-pin. Scott leads the high-low plus the 2. Danny Harris with the spear. And Douglas matches.
Splits for both of them. I saw a 62 half on the other side. It was tough to get a look, and I don't want to crowd the scorers as they're doing their work there. We saw 120 was the cut, 121 the cut to get this far.
Danny Harris drops 7 on his mark.
All these bowlers in the money, and deservedly so. In addition to the top 4 women from the ladies tournament.
Scott drops 7 as well. 62.
63 in fact.
Harris, oh, just missed. Harris, okay, Danny has a chance on upping Scott here. 9 for Danny.
Ooh,
Ooh, what a 10. What a shot.
oh, 3-4 that was?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, the scores this bunched together, you just don't know.
No, you don't. Anything can happen. Danny Harris buries the pocket, leaves not, drops 9, leaves to 4. Scott leaves a 2, has a weird split. All over it. Danny Harris with another spear. And I take it Greg has an update.
I think so. Just a moment, folks. It was top 3 for the women, excuse me. Oh, no, Peter, I could see why you say that. Mel did so well. That's tough. I'm sorry. I announced her as a casher the whole way through. I'm sorry. That was really great to see at the end there. A 9 box.
82. Danny Harris on his mark, draws 5. Making 6. Leads to diamond. This is not a pretty diamond. This is a diamond nobody wants to see because you have the kingpin right in the middle.
It ups the fill to 6.
Scott drops 8. Danny makes the diamond. Wow. Back-to-back spears. So what's the update?
You bet, 97 and a ball. Douglas has a spare chance too as well, if I recall, but Justin Waters 62 at the half. Aaron Fontaine, is that Aaron Fontaine? Yes. Aaron Fontaine 60 at the half. And then Scott LaPierre 73 plus 2 at the half, and Troy Fournier 51 at the half. So they're raking over there on lanes 11 and 12.
I believe that was a...
Yeah, I see a triangle getting smudged there. Meanwhile, over to Danny Harris.
Harris dropped 7. He has the 4-7-10. Piece of wood is rolling towards the 10, but it dives off the plate and heads into the pit. Danny Aria 104.
Now Douglas's first ball set back with the usual wood. We're seeing that a lot.
This time the wood isn't that bad for okay, Danny just takes up the 7 pin.
Nothing doing on the 4-7-10.
Oh, there was a 7 in Scott Douglas Phil. Danny ends up with a 9. Scott Douglas ends up with an 8.
7 fill, 8 box, that should be. And there we go, 107 through 10.
113 for Danny Harris.
Not proud of this coverage, but we're getting there. Not proud of this round of coverage, but
well, we kind of had a feeling this was going to happen.
yeah, this is a common Pro Series thing to just not reuse lanes in effect. So
yeah. Gilly on the pocket.
this will happen from time to time.
Yeah.
Get over!
Susie's,
Come on!
boy, Tim cannot catch a break, though this isn't the worst one, I suppose.
It's a mini high-low jack.
Daly, where's
Daly.
this going? Goodness.
Daly was going to try and make something funky happen.
Pins, look at
The
all right.
ball came back. It went right behind the object pin.
What a strange way to make the back two. Daly gets 9.
And a 10 box for...
Tim Susie.
This is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Bless you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I wanted to be sure you were done.
No actual disrespect meant. I know a friend like that.
I wanted to make sure you were done, but I didn't get there.
Feels really good, though.
Ball retrieved and on we go.
Very relieving. Cindy!
LaPierre's on 12 and Waters on 11. Here's Daly on 16, a split. 3, 4, 6, 7.
What's up, asshole?
That's his 4th split.
Get over there!
Susie got it busted up this time. His best look with the 6-10. Waters close on 11.
Oh, damn. Josh was too full. Way too full.
Attaboy.
And a spare. Tim Susie at last gets
Is that
one.
Is that his first one? An 8 for Josh Daly.
Now none of these halves really were 8 for Daly. Okay. Not a lot of these halves were competitive with the ones on the other ones on 11 and 12.
So whoever is in the finals. Whoever's in the finals is going to have their hands full. Daly with a 9, leaves a 4 pin. Susie on his spear drops 6. Lisa Cleary minus the 10.
There you go, Timmy.
Piece of wood right behind the head pin. Josh all over it for a spear.
One of his best looks, and he takes advantage. So 6 fill, and no.
Ooh, just missed the object. Object there was the head.
So a 10, and this is tough going for Susie. All those head pins, only just now missed one. And doesn't have a whole lot to show for it. Just a few 10 boxes. Makes it so much difficult to work out of those splits.
Daly on his fill is a strike. Second strike of the match.
Big time bullseye for Daly. And now he can go 20 over. Just in the nick of time. Scott LaPierre finishes with a 125, and yeah, that's all for that one. So LaPierre on a 125. I'll note that down. excuse me. And 3 more remaining for Susie.
Oh, the ball came back.
It'll go for 9 on this one. So now Susie may get stuck with a triple-digit score, and that's very harsh, all things considered. Meanwhile, Josh Daly coming into his own with that second strike.
All right, Daly working on a strike.
Justin Waters has just come into the clubhouse.
Double strike for Josh Daly.
My goodness, and against a Justin Waters 131, he might well need that against his world's teammate. Oh, man.
Justin Waters.
And that'll pass that, certainly. So
Easy.
again, LaPierre 125, Waters 131. Susie marks. Thank goodness for that. I think he was due one of those.
That's actually his second one for this.
It is. Still deserves.
Daly has one more ball to fill.
Yeah, or 2 more, in fact. He's struck in the 10th, so.
2 more balls.
No, thank you. We're all set there. All right.
Daly
First strike, Phil.
puts 5.
15 in the first one. Susie's spare Phil is 5, so he ends up with 105.
Which is not going to be enough to move on.
Doesn't seem that way. I mean,
And
fewer
an
bowlers.
8 for Josh Daly in a second strike. 135. He actually tied Scott LaPierre, I believe.
Yeah. I'm actually going to check in real quick.
Yep. 135, 113, 107.
All scores you see here for lanes 15 and 16 are confirmed. So, panning this camera to the left now.
It all depends on what happens here. I really don't know what's going on.
So Scott LaPierre is on. Scott LaPierre 125, Waters 131. Fournier strikes on that.
Dilly with the 135 that we saw.
Yeah, Scott Douglas is packing his equipment. He knows that's unlikely to work.
Yeah.
I can't find my phone.
So many good scores out of 11 and 12.
That's my problem if I can't find it.
Harris a 113. In fact, 4 scores have passed both Susie and Douglas, so they are now out. Harris and LaPierre we're not sure about. Waters and Daly are certainly through the Central 3 and Academy Lanes World's teammates. And now we just check in with Fontaine and Fournier. He ends up with a 9 box. And we will confirm these scores in just a moment.
We went to Canada twice, so I'm not sure. Yeah, that might be what it was. It was so weird. I didn't understand what was going on. I couldn't understand. I was kind of in 105 pins, and I think that's what. I couldn't understand. I was so lost. I just kept throwing the ball.
So Fournier was 5 over. Now he's 12 over with that strike fill. Fontaine is 27 over. So that's on track right there. He's got another fill to go now. 9 over for Fournier right now. Just plugging that in here. Fournier's going to need more than this. He's going to need a lot in the last 2 boxes, it looks like, so I don't fancy his chances.
Oh,
Fontaine, on the other hand, looking very likely in, which will very likely put LaPierre in and Harris out. And Scott LaPierre's loving this right now. He's fist pumping. He thinks he's got it. Standing by here waiting for the final scores, but we believe it is most likely going to be Josh Daly, Justin Waters, Scott LaPierre, and Aaron Fontaine through. And commiserations to Danny Harris, Scott Douglas, Tim Soucy, and Troy Fournier. On the other side marking out. So now the final 4 is among us. We will take an audio timeout. And that will be audio timeout. We'll be right back. Thank you for your patience. And it has just been announced 125 is indeed the cut, so it is Scott LaPierre, Aaron Fontaine, Justin Waters, and Josh Daly in the final 4. Scott LaPierre, the potential to be singles champion again, even though his victory technically came in the singles knockout. But it would be his 2nd consecutive singles championship in the Pro Series. Here we go, the final 4. Greg Gouillart alongside Kevin Burns here on Candlepin Bowling Network, live on Facebook and YouTube.
First ball for Scott LaPierre. Just off the head pin. Leaves drop 7.
1-3-6.
Waters in the pocket. Drops 8. 2 move on to the finals. LaPierre with the spear.
Runs it down, the 1-3-6. 6-10. Just off to the right. And there is the 10. We started with a 5-string qualifier across 2 shifts, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies had just that as their 5-string tournament, Madison Riva victorious.
That's their 2nd Pro Series title, I believe.
Josh Daly, far and away the best qualifier among the men, and he stands here in the final 4. Top 24 advanced to our eliminator format, cutting half the field each time. And now we're down to the final 2. LaPierre with a 7 count on the spare. Waters, that looked like a missile going down, and he's got a nice sleeve to show for it. Wood in front for Scott. Spin the wood, tip the 7. Too bad.
He's like, I can't believe I did that. There's one for Waters.
On the outside of the 6 and 9, he's got a spare. Top two, no field to consider. We see it all here. A 10. Been perfect, the pair of them so far. Freshy's being loud. What else is new?
What else? Yeah, it's Freshy. Do you expect anything less from him?
Great Pro Series organizer who we love teasing as well. Nate Lees and Dave Barber, Allie Barber, Samantha Zuffalato,
LaPierre.
and
in the
Lori Lewis.
In the pocket, a 3-1 split. Yuck. I don't like that word, though.
Waters on a spare. Crossed over a bit, left the king. 5, 6, 9, and 10.
He has to split this in order to get the 10. The wood is touching the lip.
That 5 pins has been difficult no matter where you're hitting it, in fairness. Scott just gets on the 2 pin. Waters just cherries picks the 5 pin. Seen a lot of people make this on the 6-10 side as well.
7.
That's the tough thing about splits. You have to be accurate suddenly every ball, even though you just were on the first one. It's a rude greeting from the pins. And that's the tough reality of Candlepin bowling. Good to see you all here. Fantastic crowd. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Please like the video so that more people can see it after the fact. We all truly appreciate your support just by watching. LaPierre breaks this up to 5 and 8. Let's see. Waters got in there. 5 pin. Waters has had a number of good looks so far in the first 4. Back from 0 every single string. These bowlers all deserving of their final 4 spot, and yet at the same time, the previous progress is erased.
There's a spare for LaPierre.
10 and a ball in that frame.
Yeah,
Yes.
and another spare.
Nick the pin on the side does not matter. It's skinny enough as it is. 44 and a ball. One string to decide who moves on to the finals. Scott LaPierre has 5 and 49 through 4.
That's a 4-fill.
4 fill, excuse me, thank you. Ooh. When Wander steps back, you will see the same reality here on his fill. So even Stevens. And now some work to do with these pins. Scott trying to find his pocket. Finds pins, not that.
He knew it, too.
The thigh slapper is a common one when bowlers.
Oh, what a pitch!
It's always toughest to get the front 2 pins, but holy smokes, Waters came close.
That would have been his second time this week he made the spread eagle.
And hey, you never know. If this is a question of a pin, that might matter. Scott LaPierre 9, and Justin Waters comes out ahead at the half with a 10.
Wow. Oh, my God. That was a great, great bid.
And his world's teammate and Central 3 teammate Danny Harris made a good run in his own right. Comes over to I-5. Aaron Fontaine and Josh Daly.
This is going to be a heavyweight champ.
Welcome to the new generation of Candlepin bowling.
You have the greatest bowler of all time's grandson and the one who's challenging all his records. Josh Daly buries the pocket. Leaves a check mark.
And Fontaine, remember, he patterns a lot of his delivery on his grandfather as well. Balance arm, here it comes. Washed out 6.
4 horsemen versus a check mark. With the way the pins have been going, I'd rather have a 4 horseman today. Ooh. Oh, Daly converts.
Like the pins were strung together. 10 and a ball. And
Matching.
likewise.
Matching.
Matching marks. 10 and a ball for Fontaine. That went as 1.
You know, this is going to get really, really interesting.
Great crowd here. You do not all fit in here, not in this sensibly sized bowling center. Olindy's in Quincy. A hidden gem of the South Shore. A lot of pro bowlers are discovering for the first time.
Oh, it's a strike.
A big time $20 for Josh Daly.
Oh, what an answer. What an answer.
These tete-a-tetes have been something, Kevin.
What?
Head-to-heads.
That
Matching mark for mark, matching 10 for 10, pin for pin. Waters only getting one ahead of LaPierre, even though this is a four-way matchup. In effect, Fontaine's got it. So he goes spare instead of spare strike. That's only one pin's difference, and a ball, to be fair.
2 balls versus 1.
Puts more security in Daly's fill, plus we just saw him double. Does he have another in him on this lane? Deals away. He's off to the right this time. Still, but there's that fill security. His pocket is still available. Fontaine. On the head pin, the fill is 9. 10 pin. Daly needs more. Oh dear, he's missed this head pin. And a 5 fill and a nightmare to pin, unfortunately. Still getting this out is valuable.
He's saying it too.
Spare. Aaron Fontaine, 3 in a row.
He said it too. He knew it.
And it's in the
It's a
curtain.
5.
So the strike vaporizes with the 5 fill, $5. 40 through 4. It's
Don't count Daly out. He's known for coming back after having an off box.
sort of the equivalent of throwing a 20 box and 2 10s, which would normally be impossible.
Daly.
Yeah. Still plenty of time. He's lost the range, but no time like the present.
Fontaine.
Fontaine's going to ease on this, you'd think, but he ends up off target. He gets 4.
Lisa Chesikov.
It's pretty when it goes.
It is.
Daly similar, 8 pin as well.
Oh, you missed the object pin.
Wood doesn't come back. Well, it's coming back. I think it's too
coming back,
slow.
but it's not. Doesn't have the steam.
Fontaine?
Fontaine.
Ooh. It's a correct reaction. He had the pin action. The angle was there, but it just suddenly stopped knocking down pins for some reason. $9 for Daly.
I am going to say one thing. Nico, take a picture of that face.
That's great. And a good out as well. $9. Got to stay on target there. 61 for Fontaine through 4. One more box is it.
The look on Aaron's face was priceless. Priceless.
If we were on Twitch, that would be an emote. Maybe YouTube could get on that.
Maybe. With all the subscribers we have. Daily. Pocket. No, off the pocket. Drops 7.
Could be worse.
It could be very worse. Okay, that piece of wood did turn into the 7 pin, so he has to hit the head pin.
Aaron's got the side saddle. Are those pins bunched up together? 6 and 9 in a strange way?
Yes, they are. They're like right on top of each other.
Weird. And the wood's in the way. Daly.
Are you kidding me?
Huh.
Are you kidding me?
And a ball on the plate, so that'll have to be retrieved. Yes, that goes just. Aaron Fontaine, a 4-mark half. 71 in a ball.
Here comes the squirrel.
A ball on the plate has to be removed.
Don't touch the pin.
That's why you get a neutral to do it. Send it back up the ball return.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
And it's not going to go up.
Oh, it did.
Wow.
Hey, no, that's a result. Blaze isn't going to get that wrong. Ooh.
Oh, he's mad at that. He's mad at that.
He knows how important these pins are. It's a 57 at the half.
Oh, he's mad at
A
that.
half many of us would like to have, but at this level. But 58, 2 57s.
In a 71 plus.
everyone knows they can do this, so that's why it drives them nuts. Even though they're scoring well in their own right, but at the highest levels of competition, you know you have to be at the top of your game.
LaPierre leads the back row.
I think the head pin spilled out, in fact.
It did.
8-10.
8-10. Plank right in front of the plate.
Which theoretically
Waters drops 9.
6 for 6 on the head pin for Waters. LaPierre, you'd think, would be able to spin the wood one way or the other.
He has to spin it, but with the way the wood has been today, I don't think it's...
Oh, here it comes!
Yeah, what a shot!
The ball took the 10.
What a shot!
And Waters does not make the 10 pin.
He has a good shot at tying Aaron Fontaine with his fill.
So on the third ball, it's 10. Waters 68 through 6, but now LaPierre can pass him. And there's a big logjam involving everyone not named Aaron.
I'm having issues right now.
LaPierre on a spare fill. He's had fills of 7 and 4 in the past 2. He deals away now. Gets his head pin. Splits badly, but it's a good count of 7.
And no wood.
Woof. Well, gotta hang on to as many of the 7 as you can. 10's unrealistic, but 9's possible.
The only way you're getting a 10 is if you get something that bank off the wall. That's the only way this is going to go.
All 4 of these bowlers very mechanically smooth. That's no accident as they've made it
nice
this far.
bid. Nice bid on the 10 pin.
I chuckle. That was a good crack. Shoot it off the wall. Waters can't get it to go past the curtain, unfortunately.
He already...
Went into the curtain too soon, I should say.
That's a 9 bucks for LaPierre.
So that's a quality 9 all told. 3 object pins.
And a 10 bucks for Justin Waters.
2 devious splits they had to work out of. Waters now 7 for 7 on the head pin. Only the 8 over to show for it. Has had a couple of opportunities on the second ball get away. Such a harsh thing. The head pin hit was so good. You have to follow it up then and there.
So like I said, anything can happen.
You make a beautiful spare. It has to be filled. Thank you in chat for that comment. 4 horsemen right for LaPierre. Justin Waters on the head pin. Look at the pins diverge and then suddenly converge.
Coming out.
And that 10 pin comes out, and the wood is coming way forward, which will be out of play, of course.
Way out of play.
4 horsemen LaPierre outside, ringing around.
Danny Harris has been designated as pin boy. Well, it is his home house. Are you kidding me? It's still rolling.
Yeah, he's saying, don't touch it. It's still rolling. You see it back there. I don't think Danny actually did pick up the pin. He's still watching it intently.
And now it's stopped.
Did he do what I think he just did?
No, the pin literally stopped as it was rolling back.
Well, it's Justin's right to wait. Gone. A spare. LaPierre splits the difference, unfortunately, not at the right time. That's 8. 88 and a ball for Waters.
I don't think I've ever seen a pin do that.
Just come that far out. It's happened before.
It does happen.
It would have been wild if it rolled back. It could have.
If it rolled back all the way and took that turn.
Cluster of 5 for LaPierre. Waters, head pin on a fill. It is 9 again. Same leave.
This time he has a better piece of wood at it.
And we saw this with Waters in a previous round. Got those 3 marks in the last 4 all of a sudden. Doing it again. Scott LaPierre, 8 pin and rolls in front of the 7. Waters in front,
Ooh,
but it
low block.
trips on the sidewall. The wood may have been wedged against the sidewall cushion, so when Waters hit it, it wildly caromed away.
I don't know if you call that a roadblock or not. It looked like it. It looked like it was perfect.
Begs the question, how else do you play that? It's a mischievous piece of wood, probably second most mischievous to the infamous setback leave, 9 versus Lapierre's 10.
With all the setback leads we've seen and all the crazy leads we've seen, that should have been and could have been an important mark that he did not get.
Yeah, so Fontaine, this looks good for him. Waters could challenge him technically, but Aaron Fontaine's going to feel very cozy at the moment, provided he pins. Lapierre's got 8.
This can go. That piece of wood in between the 5 and the 9.
Ooh, spread eagle, and what a rude way to greet a head pin perfect string for Justin Waters, 10 for 10.
With being 10 for 10 on the headpin, his score should be through the roof.
And it can be for other bowlers.
Oh.
Wood was sticking its tongue out in Scott Lapierre, and Lapierre trips on the cap. Waters is 5 pins ahead. He wants to hang on to these. Outside 2-pin. It's rolling off the wall, but then not moving.
Not enough steam. The sidewalls here are like dead. That's a 9.
Not always, though. Sometimes you get the springy action. Not in this case. Waters. 9 is fine out of that. 115 to Lapierre's 110.
Anything can happen. You cannot count Daly out. Daly may have a few tough leads, but anything can happen.
Now, Daly does need a mark. He cannot have a markless half or else he's out.
Markless half, he's out.
But a chance presents itself with a plank right in front of the 4-7.
Well, let's not forget what just happened with Justin Waters. He had a plank in front of this where the 4-pin was. Oh, 7-10.
Tough one for Fontaine, but he's got his 8 count and a 79 half.
Let's see if he can convert this because.
Let's see. Red line, yes, just.
There you go. There you go. He needed that.
Has to be filled, but 67 and a ball.
I don't know where to go with this with Fontaine.
Here he goes. On the right side, Wood.
Ooh.
Doesn't trampoline across.
If that did trampoline across, that would have been a pretty shot. And that would be a 10 box.
Pro 10, as you say.
Yep.
80.
Very, very, very pro 10.
89 through 6. Daly on 67 and a ball. A good count here, and he starts to overtake Lapierre, possibly Waters as well. Strike on.
And it will be these two going head to head for the final.
I don't want him to hear me, but strike on spare would be brilliant. About now, head pin hit.
Oh, come on. Anything but this split.
7-9. Wood in front is interesting, and the count is good. 75 through 6. Now he at minimum needs to hang on to pins.
The only problem is the wood. He has 3 pieces of wood right by the 9-pin. One of them is on an angle. Oh, what a shot. What a shot.
They go as a tandem, Daly back to back. And maybe, just maybe, that could be all he needs. Fontaine's off the head pin. He's still sitting pretty right here. He would have to hemorrhage pins in order to possibly fall out of first place. Well, Daly could overtake him in theory, but that fall out of the top 2 would be ridiculous.
Oh, that head pin dance on it. Dance on both ends of the cap.
It's for count. 9's fine. 98 through 7. Fontaine should be cozy. Daly should be 2. I will feel much more confident about his chances if he fills.
All comes down to the film.
Oh, baby! He did not even watch the 9-pin drop. Strike on spare.
He knew it. He knew it. As soon as he threw the ball, he knew it. Fontaine. Right answer. Oh, God.
I think it's his crossover side, but yikes. 5-6. Whoa, what a moment in this match.
The only way you are making this is if you play high on the cap. Get something off the wall.
Way left. Maybe even could have even gone further left.
That's what I was saying. You want to go so far left on the cap.
Yeah.
But he redlined it instead. All right, that's a pro 9 right there. After that lead, that's definitely a pro 9.
Yeah. It was a little left, but leftish was never going to take it, to your point.
No.
105 plus
Because
2.
you had to bring something out the wall and have something fall into the 5-pin. That's the only way you're making that.
Daly.
Daly. Hello, Eagle.
And that's what I was worried would happen the last time. Thankfully, it comes from the strike fill, so we're still filling. I'm just not rooting for any bowler. I'm just biased against the pins. Fontaine! 5-6.
Same lead. But this time it's different. This time you don't have a decent piece of wood
And
to
another
shoot at.
emotable face.
This time you don't have a decent piece of wood to shoot at. So now you got to do it one at a time.
Yeah, that piece of wood on the left is level with the pins.
Yeah, it's on a plane, so it's not going to...
Trying it anyway.
Oh, what a cut. What a cut.
He loves it. He's playing to the crowd now. 8 fill, 9 box for Daly for 122.
I don't know if that...
If the gap were any less, I think Fontaine had play on that. Instead, it's 9. So,
I don't know if that's from his grandfather's playbook.
On screen are your 2 finalists, by the way.
116, 122. You can pretty much say that Waters and LaPierre are done.
The math is there, in fact.
Caleri? Yeah.
1, 2, 4, 7, and 9-ish. Last box. This is a formality at this point.
Oh, boy. Diamond. A girl's best friend, but not in Candlepin bowling.
Really nice shot.
Nice shot on the Caleri.
For a spare, 132 and a ball. He had nothing less. I mean, get this.
Come on. Come on. Are you serious?
I can't believe this statistic. I'm just looking at it for myself. Josh Daly had nothing less than 140 in his qualifying strings. Aaron Fontaine's route here included a 152 and a 158.
We saw the 158.
And
Yeah,
now
that's the 10.
he has the 10 ho-hum 126. Again, a good pro score in Candlepin is in the 120s. And that's
Daly?
the bar. Man, I'd love to be disappointed by a 138. In fact, the fill is 6. 138. This is the final score you see on your screen. Final 2 coming up in just a moment. Please be on 13 and 14. We'll be right back. Bowlers are taking a brief break. The final 2 will begin soon. Hello and welcome. It is the final match, a one-string final between Aaron Fontaine and Josh Daly. And Kevin, deja vu all over again. We've got ourselves Fontaine versus Daly, just like last time.
Okay, but the last Fontaine that made it to the finals was Nate.
Yes.
So here we go. So winner takes all
Daly starts.
with the four horsemen. Nate. Aaron, my bad. I was just talking Nate, that's why.
1, 2, 7, and 10. Put those likes in chat. Let's power these bowlers on to a great match here. This is going to be a good one. Remember, this is their 10th string today. Could fatigue play a factor? Ooh, 3 of 4 for Daly against the four horsemen.
Marks are going to be the difference in this one. Oh, hello, Jack.
Or they could both put up a bunch of marks and then win by 1 pin. We'll see. It could be one of those. A 10.
Tell you with the 10.
Paul Grant at a Newport Entertainment Center. He knows what I mean. Fontaine 8. 1 box down, 9 to go. Just a one-string match for all the marbles. Though second place prize money is not too bad.
No.
And yes, if they tie, they go for an overtime. We would just do the whole thing all over again.
That's what I'm afraid of. Daly, pocket, drops 7.
We started with a crowded field, 2 shifts, and these are the 2 bowlers that have made it through. Congratulations also to Madison Riva for winning the women's competition.
Aaron drops 8. There's a spare for Daly.
3, 6, 10 runs it down. So the 1, 9. And again, it's a situation where Fontaine's got a pin and wood just kind of to the side. Can he get both? No, he's too far right for that one.
Way too far.
Tough to say, but that is the reality of the situation here. Kim Baker came in second in the women's competition.
And
Caitlin
there's a
Zaleski
10.
in third.
There's a 10. 18, 20. Daly's working on a mark. Like I said, all for the marbles. It's going to come down to the marks and the fills.
Josh Daly qualified with a 737 through 5. Nothing below 140. Aaron Fontaine with a 650.
Daly drops 8. 8 on the mark. 28 after 2.
Of note, Sean Baker had second place with a 657.
Aaron was 7. Was the 1, the 6, and the 10.
One-string final, remember. Spare.
Spare.
Easy as you like with the plank in front.
Aaron needs to get on the board here.
Oh! In off the sidewall in front of the 10.
I don't think that word is doing good.
He'll ask for a check on that.
Yeah, I would definitely check on that. His brother's going to go down and
Send
take
a
a
neutral. That's his younger brother. Nate Fontaine, who we've seen on the final stage.
Yeah, wow, it is good. I'm shocked.
The wood is fair. Fontaine may... Aaron's like, can you check again? No, I'm just kidding. He may go for the right wood anyway. We'll see. Yep. 10.
10. All right. This is going to get out of hand quick.
28 plays 38 plus. Well, one string. Daly way out in front right now, but still time.
This is what I'm afraid of because I know what kind of bowler these 2 guys are.
Yes!
Oh, there's a bomb.
The fill is 10. Strike on spare, Josh Daly.
Darian's over here. She's rooting for Aaron Fontaine.
Let's see. Skinny on the head pin. Check mark left side. Aaron's found his range on the first ball. One string final.
Anything can happen.
Uncheck it now. Yes,
There
a
you
5
go. There
pin.
you go.
Wilts.
There you go.
All right, has to be filled. Daly has done well on the past 2, and he does have a strike fill and has that security. "20 pins the advantage for the man of green. on the head pin split.
Okay, that
Should get count, though, at least.
that's interesting.
Fontaine needs count. Skinny on it again, 5.
It was a cluster. Diamond plus the 10.
Fontaine's honing in. Can he do it fast enough? Daly gets 8 on the strike fill.
That's it's down 23 pins. He needs this. He needs this. Nope. 2-4.
And now he needs pins as well.
He needs more than pins.
It's the Daly 9. Just don't lose ground here, I suppose. No, he doesn't. Good.
He
$9
doesn't.
bucks.
Doesn't. All right, after 5, we're going to take a
Yep.
quick little break.
52 and 75 at the half.
Hairpin hits for that half.
And they will switch lanes after 5. They're going to take a water break. I don't blame them at this point. So 52 half versus 75 half. Just going over everything here. Josh Daly with a spare in 2, 3, and a strike in 4. And Aaron Fontaine with that spare in 5. Has been finding the range increasingly here, but Daly has been starting strong. Now a strong finish is what's required. There was a moment there where we thought Daly might not make it out of that first half. He was very frustrated with himself, though he was very much in the mix. And then he came into his own in the second half. Now he's off to the strong start. Bowler switch lanes, you see the arrows, and you see Aaron Fontaine. Out of bogey lanes, East Brookfield. Bowling here at O'Lindy's in Quincy.
boy.
And he's punched a spread eagle -1. Daly's lost this one out. He's got 3.
Dilly just did him a favor.
Not that
But this can actually go. I've seen it go before. What the? I can't even explain
it
that.
ricocheted way out of the back plate there.
Same thing with Dilly. The pins have been ricocheting like crazy, but is
Sometimes that's Candlepin. Make sure you get your pins. Don't give away anything, even though it seems a little goofy at this point. And okay,
that helps. That
So-
helps.
9 versus 7. So a gain of 2 for Fontaine, which I need to reflect correctly. That's this. Thank you. This is the correct score on your screen, 61 through 6 and 82 through 6. Should be 21 pins.
You're down, but you're not out. But anything can happen.
Well, pinning can set the stage for a
There you
comeback.
go.
Once you get explosive hits like this one. Daly, may have-
Dilly,
looked like he double dribbled the ball a bit, almost like it hung up in his hand, but it still does damage.
it looked like it skipped out a little bit too.
2-4. Fontaine is the 5.
Don't touch that wood. You do not want to touch that wood. Touch that wood, you're not going to make the shot. Ooh.
Through the gap. Daly spares
Daly
his
takes it
4th mark.
And Dilly takes it up. That's the opportunity. There's a 9.
9 Fontaine. So now the gap is 22 in favor of Daly, and he's got an extra mark. Fontaine may be headed for the miracle zone. We'll see. Needing a double strike.
Yeah, I think he's already in the miracle zone. It all depends on how dude fills this.
Bogey Lane's magic where he unrolled several strikes in a row. And that unofficial but still dazzling string. 6.
8.
Whoa.
It puts him over 100. Now you're in triple strike territory.
Certainly at least double. And it's got to be mark perfect, too.
Nope.
On the head pin full. Daly, 2-4. Not
Nope.
there, but still way, way, way out in front.
All right. 78, 110. Math is right. You are definitely in the miracle zone now.
That's for sure.
You need to strike. You need at least 2 strikes right now. And both of these guys, Aaron is very capable of it.
Whoa. Denied it there.
There's an eagle. That kind of helps.
Well-
With the spare, reset.
We're talking about fringe cases here, but in theory, pins can make up that gap, but Fontaine needs some mark. Not going to happen there.
No. That pretty much did it. Yep. That pretty much did it because Josh Daly will win.
So there we go.
Josh Daly does win.
Fontaine 9, Daly 7. And yes, as long as Fontaine doesn't triple and Daly doesn't walk out the door suddenly, any fair contact will end this match. Congratulations to Josh Daly for his second consecutive Pro Series win after being number 1 in qualifiers. He's going to soar up the table. Pro Series points awarded to the high finishers in qualifying and in this elimination round. And how do you do? Hello and goodbye. 127 plus 2.
We will talk to the winner, I believe. Oh, nice bid.
That's gone! I told you he deserved to be in the final. Aaron Fontaine, 97 and a ball.
Corey Packett just patted him on the back. He was like, I know how you feel. There's so many he should have had.
It's a tremendous shot.
And I know we're going to be talking to Josh Daly at the end of this. Aaron put 6 in the mark.
Yep, Daly's still filling. Aaron Fontaine 103 in the final.
And
Daly technically has to throw another ball.
unfortunately.
And the fill is 10, why not?
Wow.
Congratulations, Josh Daly, a 137 string on the end and a 103. So there it is, 137 for Daly, 103 for Aaron Fontaine.
I think we should talk to both bowlers because this was...
Let's see if we can get their attention here. Interview perhaps in a second here. Oh, this is a lovely moment. Put the wire on the left side. Give Josh Daly a moment. He deserves his accolades from everyone.
Yeah.
Josh, thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us. I see you got your mother here as well. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. So you had no string lower than 140 in the qualifiers. First of all, how familiar are you with O'Lindy's Quincy? How your experience here?
Honestly, it's my second time bowling here.
And the last time was recently, or?
Sometime last year.
And so many bowlers were struggling with the pin action here, just the 5 pins that wouldn't seem to go through. Is it just sheer power to get all the way through, or?
I kind of found my groove, found my sweet spot in the pockets, either coming in a little bit on the 1-2 or the 1-3, wherever I was feeling, and everything was mixing up for me, and it was just trying to stay my best and stay on top the whole day.
And I only have one more question, but Kevin, did you want to get one in edgewise? It's up to you.
No, you can.
And my other question was just how's the hilarity of bowling against another Fontaine? That's a good bowling family you were up against.
No, it is. Aaron and I used to bowl each other a lot during the kids' terms and everything, so for us to get here in these finals, it kind of means a lot to both of us, and it means a lot that him and I are really good and going to be a good, bright future for both of us.
Candlepins for Candlepin New Gen. Josh, thank you so much, and once again, congratulations. Second straight.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys coming out here today.
Much appreciated. And thank you all for watching on Candlepin Bowling Network. Your mic's good. You can take that back. Thank you so much. For Greg, my name is Greg Gouillart, and alongside Kevin Burns, thank you so much for watching this presentation of Candlepin Bowling Network and the Candlepin Pro Series. We'll have final standings up on Candlepin Bowling Network on Facebook. Please be on the lookout for that. Until next time, so long.